Tinubu keeps mum as Nigerians suffer outrageous electricity tariff hike and hunger. Who said this and to whom? Good evening, Lagos, and welcome to the Evening Rush 90.3, Voice of the People of Home. This is where Nigeria's finest conversation takes place every evening, and I'm excited to bring you today's edition of the show. My name is Precious E, and of course, you know, every Tuesday, like Mondays and Thursdays, I have a regular guest, and I'm beginning to be so booked in the midst of men every day now. Men of timber and caliber every time. So this show is produced by Promise. So we take a critical analysis, a critical look at topical conversations that you have been talking about all day. We're here to do justice to yet another round of very interesting conversation today. Right. And I have with me in the studio, I wanted to say Prince of the Most High, but I remember it's not Most High, it's the traditional Prince. I have Prince Francis Chilaka with me in the house. Good evening, Prince Francis. Thank you so much.
Good evening,
and thank you so much again. Thank you so much again. Nobody will understand why I'm saying this.
No, today you're not APC woman leader.
Now you sabi. I'm not even answering you with that one. Now you sabi. When it comes to that one, I just off my mic. You sabi. Thank you so much. So how do you find this electricity tariff hike thing? Okay, you're not on band A.
I don't even know. I think I'm contraband. I don't understand. Yes.
That took me unawares. I didn't see that coming. So you know what? I have a business owner who is into fashion designing. The interesting thing is that this person makes a lot of clothes for a lot of politicians. So I am advising the clients to please increase bill because electricity bill that used to last him for 1 month just lasted only for 1 week, and he's screaming and says, oh, the bill is so much, I say, or you begin to bill your clients even more. So that's what you do, because when you do PR and media consultancy for people, you also try to, ensure that they have their overhead. They keep their head afloat in business. So when you see that your overhead is you also do something to adjust. And good thing it is the people that amended the price that you're servicing. So in that way, you not rob Peter to pay for, you collect from Peter to serve yourself. But it is really sickening.
They won't feel it.
Did you hear what Adelebo said? That prices will still go high again.
They won't. Let me tell you the truth. These government officials don't even know how much a cup of garri costs in the market. So they can sit in there in the comfort of their homes and give prices and make laws and make decisions as if they are from another planet. And that's the problem. So
my worry is that the politicians that you just mentioned are not up to 5% of the population of Nigerians. My real concern is, and I do also know that the other 5%, we don't have up to 5% of very rich Nigerians that can afford this bill without crying. My major worry is for the other 90% of us that we cannot afford it. Because right now it looks like all of us are poor and vulnerable like this. We should be telling Auntie Betta she was in office now to please consider us in her humanitarian service. Because we are all poor and vulnerable. Honestly speaking, I worry for the downturn this would have in businesses. Because a business environment, for instance, I know of a hotel that its electricity bill used to be about 20 million naira monthly. And right now it's about to hit 60 million naira monthly. So the major issue for me is that there's actually no clarity on the categorization of the band A to band B or Z, because these people have between 10 to 20 hours of light. Most times, not up to 20 hours of light, but are categorized under the band A. So how are they going to keep afloat? It's a lot of problem, because if a business used to pay like 20 million naira for electricity tariff, and they now pay electricity, generally utility bill, and they now pay 60 million. How will they make up the money? They will in turn impute the money into their cost, and consumers will have to pay. And when consumer pays, what happens? Inflation higher. But President assured us that he's going to bring down inflation. Perhaps that's why that headline read what it did read.
Precious.
Sir?
How do you bring down inflation when people don't have purchasing power?
That's.
How do you bring down inflation when the cost of everything is skyrocketing? Mr. President started on a very, very wrong footing, and he seems to be following that trajectory. You started on the 29th of May by telling the whole Nigerians subsidy is gone. We're still battling with that. Yesterday I bought petrol at 675 naira per litre.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that why we're having this queue? Because I noticed there's been subtle queue in Lagos
So
State.
and this, while I was coming, I bought at 615 naira per liter. So it depends on which filling station you're driving to.
It's scary.
That is one. We're still trying to, survive. People are trying to survive. People are finding it difficult to have 3 good square meals a day.
Do people still eat square?
Parents are finding it difficult to pay school fees. Are finding it difficult to pay their house rents. Are finding it difficult to move around and do their businesses. And then you just wake up again. You bring electricity tariff. Bam. And I keep asking, who are those advising this Mr. President? Are they foreigners? Are they from Chad? Are they from Ghana? Are they from wherever they are from? Why are they making the Nigerian people suffer?
So, but do you think that this is enough for, the statement that was made by some, purported statement by some, alleged statement by some northern elders saying that they regret voting Tinubu, that they won't repeat that mistake in 2027?
Well,
because we do hear that there are some northern elders that are already pitching an air of fight to really go against the president.
The thing with the northern elders, we don't have elders in this country anymore. Let's be very honest with ourselves. We don't have elders as in elders. Elders as in people who are patriotic. Elders as in people who are filled with wisdom. What we have are hungry men looking for survival just like the ordinary Nigerians. So once they look at their bank account and it is diminishing, they begin to cry wolf. That's just what you have. You don't have elders. I mean, if you have elders, a lot of things going on in this country, they should have stood up against it. We had the most bizarre kind of election in this country. People didn't come out to talk. I lost a neighbor during the governorship election because some hoodlums came with cane and was chasing somebody they said had done a video on them. And the young man ran into this man's compound. The man entered and said, please, you can't come into my compound. They pushed the man fell down, hit his head, and that was it.
Jeez.
Yes.
And nobody paid for it?
Nobody.
Oh, wow.
So where were the elders? Look at what is happening in Okoma community. Where are the elders? Look at the insecurity in the land, the kidnappings. Where are the elders? So when people open their mouth and call themselves elders, I wonder what they really drank before opening their mouth.
Oh no, please take it easy.
It's getting to an end. They can come out and say that they are, concerned citizens that are hungry and they want patronage from government. But don't tell me you're an elder. Because eldership comes with wisdom. And I don't see any wisdom in this set of human beings.
Oh wow. Okay. Huge one. Lagos, let's go straight to the hot topic that we have this evening. And a hot topic this evening, first, Atiku dares Tinubu to reveal cost of Lagos-Calabar highway project. If you know yourself, make I not talk the way they talk and small because I know if you talk like that to my elders. If you know yourself, or you reveal the price of Lagos-Calabar highway. That there. We move on. Nigeria's economy under Tinubu has severe stress. Naira losing value daily, unemployment, inflation worsening. Credited to Peter Obi. Tinubu keeps mum as Nigerians suffer outrageous electricity tariff hike. I told you that already. Wike Fubara feud splits PDP. 60 reps demand chairman's resignation. All right. Kano government to arraign APC chairman Ganduje. Wife April 17, including son, by the way. We'll move on to other issues. And then in Edo PDP issue, Philip Shaibu can still become governor despite impeachment. PDP chairman says so. All right. Moving on now. Lagos fire. 4 buildings collapsed. 14 others seriously impacted. This is according to them. There was a fire outbreak today. I don't know if you heard that, earlier. There was a fire outbreak somewhere in the Sumo markets in Lagos State. That's a repeat. In fact, I'm going to make this the bane of a hot topic. A step-down conversation. Because there are some myths around this, and I really would love for people to educate me. I'm a local woman. Nnamdi Kanu's lawyers denied access to detained IPOB leader. Lament seizure of documents by Nigerian Secret Police, DSS. Nnamdi Kanu's lawyers denied access to detained IPOP leader laments seizure of documents by Nigerian Secret Police DSS. And then NLC sacks Abure-led Labour Party's National Working Committee. Also in the news. And I will move to Niger Delta. NCDC probes strange illness. Did I say Niger Delta? Sokoto State now. NCDC probes strange illness in Sokoto State. Lagos, these are the hot topics that we have. But you know what? As usual, let's quickly go take a cup of water and come back. And we get straight to the conversation one at a time. Stay with us.
Listen to hot critical analysis and top trending topics of the day. Join Precious, Monday to Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. on
Bakar has dared President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to disclose the full cost of the Lagos-Calabar Highway project. Atiku said in a statement today, Tuesday, that the Tinubu administration could not continue to keep silent on how much public funds will be spent on the project at a time when Nigeria was still facing economic challenges. I mean, we should be entitled to how much of our money you're using to run the projects. That's what it means. Now, it was reported that the federal government recently announced the start of construction on the 700-kilometer Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. I mean, the one that is leading to the reason why they're demolishing part of Landmark Hotel. Hello, do you understand? That road that they will build from Landmark to Calabar. Just so you understand. And of course, why it's called coastal is because there will be bridges in Ahota. So the Minister of Works, David Omahi, revealed this in a statement last week by his special advisor on media, Oji Uchenna, in Abuja. However, querying the contractor, the former vice president, through his media advisor, Paul Ibe, questioned the Tinubu administration's decision to award the contract to Gilbert Chagre or Gilbert Chagre's High Tech without competitive bidding. So why would you award this contract to Gilbert Chagre's High Tech without any competitive bidding? Is it that is some sort of, settlement? That's what they mean. He also wondered why the Tinubu administration released a 1.06 trillion naira for the pilot phase, or a 6% of the project. So, if 1.06 trillion naira was released for the pilot, that is 6% of the project. Oga, remind me how much more we're going to be spending.
I don't know.
If 1.6 trillion is just 6%, that means we'll have over 10% more to go. In fact, we'll have over 15 trillion more to go thereabouts to complete the project. That's very worrisome. Okay. So he said, so he said this road begins at Eco Atlantic and is expected to terminate at the Lekki Deep Sea Port. Now, the statement signed on Tuesday in Abuja by the special assistant to the former vice presidential Atiku Abubakar read in the part that the Tinubu's administration cannot continue to respond to the public inquiry with insults. They must come clean on the project because Nigerians deserve to know the truth. I therefore present 6 posers to the administration. Poser 1. How much is the total cost of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway? How much in all? Officer Bogole, that's what half a man will say. Why is the project Why is the project being funded by the Nigerian government despite being a PPP? Should be in a private partnership, be public-private partnership.
Yeah.
So why is it now funded by Nigerian government? Why is it that it's government that released the 1.606%? 06 trillion naira. Okay, that's question number 2. So why is the project being funded by the Nigerian government despite being a PPP? 3. Why is the project taking off from Chagri's Eco Atlantic? 4. Why is 1.06 trillion naira being spent on the pilot phase, which is just 47 kilometers? This 47 kilometers will just start from the beginning to Ekpe. William. 5. Why did the 1.6 trillion naira not get the approval of the National Assembly? We didn't even see them debate it. We didn't hear anything about it. 6. Why wasn't there a competitive bidding for the project? Why would no bid? Why wasn't any competitive? Now, you know how you have 2, 3, 4 companies bid and the one with the brightest offer wins the contract. Why wasn't it like that? 7. He said, finally, how did the Tinubu administration get the design as well as the right of way in just 7 months that he started office. Since it claims the past administration of Goodluck Jonathan of Muhammadu Buhari never touched the project. So how did you now get a design in 6-7 months? Article further charged the Tinubu administration to, in the spirit of Freedom of Information Act, respond to the questions line by line instead of taking the mundane and judicial route of insulting their way out of every inquiry. So instead of it to always insult us as they do, I beg, this question we don't atomize them like exam question and a compulsory, no option, compulsory. Please answer us one at a time. Let me now ask my guest, Prince Francis Chilaza. Do you think that Atiku's concerns are valid? And do you think these questions are quite apt?
Unfortunately, Nigeria has become a country where citizens no longer have rights to question their leaders. Every time somebody tries to dig deep into what government is doing, the government wakes up. Rather than addressing issues, they attack the person.
And that's what Atiku is saying.
Yes, it's like a continuous pattern.
So it's looking like a style.
Yes, Atiku, as a Nigerian, has a right to ask questions as to how collective wealth is managed. And that is what he's doing. Since the ordinary Nigerians cannot ask this question, he's asking the question. And I don't see anything wrong with government coming out straight to answer those questions. When you do that, you are helping the people to understand where you're coming from and where you're going to. But you see, what has been playing out in Nigeria is the fact that those in power, the ministers, the president, they just wake up and they tell you, oh, we're building this for you people. Nobody has ever asked the Nigerian people, what do you really want? So it's always about what those in power think that the people want. Okay, I agree. Even when you want to do what you think the people want, don't you think the people have a right to know how you are proceeding with what you want to do for them? So I totally support Atiku. I totally, take sides with him on this. We need to know, not only him, Nigerians want to know how this contract was conceived, how it's been awarded, who it's been awarded to, so that the problem we're having with, electricity will not surface tomorrow. So that the problem we had with national air will not be the same problem we'll have tomorrow. I'm really disturbed that this government has not seen the need to arrest the former Minister of Aviation up till now.
Hadi Sirika.
Yes. They have not. They don't seem to have the balls to do that.
Oh, wow.
Because the man is working freely. We're talking about the suspended minister for yes.
Oh, you guys were asking about
and she's at home. She's sitting comfortably in her house.
They said they retrieved 30 billion.
Is she not supposed to be under arrest?
And they're investigating 50 accounts.
So what is the way selective persecution is going on in this country is alarming. Emefiele has been moving from one DSS, prison, detention, and all of that. But yet, there are people that you have traced funds to them, missing funds, the funds of the Nigerian people, and yet they're enjoying the comfort of their bed, the comfort of their homes.
Okay, go ahead.
So, it's annoying, it is painful, it is sad. I think, and I strongly believe that rather than throwing stones and trying to, shut down anyone that asks questions, this government should be answering questions, like it is said, line by line. Educate the Nigerian people.
But do you see the government doing that?
Well, I don't. Well, from what is going on, if it's not just with Atiku, even with P2B, once he makes a comment, they come after him. They don't address the issues he's raised, but they're addressing his person. And that is not what leadership is all about. That is not leadership. Leadership is accountability, transparency, inclusiveness. This is what we want as a people, and we're not getting it.
Okay, so let's look at itemizing the concerns that were raised by Atiku Abubakar, line by line, just like he mentioned. One is, how much is the total cost of the coastal highway, as it were? If, for instance, the first installment of payment is 1.06 trillion naira, the first installment, making 6% like this write-up stated, do you think it's fair that we're going to pay this much? 1.06 trillion naira. Let's assume it's 1 trillion naira, and we'll have to pay this, in another 16 places or another 15 places. Do you think that's, or another 14 places? Do you think that this is, a good enough amount, or the best we could have done this project with?
Well,
achieve this project.
To start with, the Nigerian people need to know the total value of this contract. We need to know, and then secondly, we need to know if it is private, public, and all of that. We need to know how much is the other party putting into this contract. I know that, over time, when the government tells you it is PP, whatever they want to call it, at the end of the day, those involved don't even add 1 cup, but they just keep increasing and inflating the bill of quantity, and government keeps paying for it. And then at the end of the day, they sit back and begin to enjoy the largesse. So they need to tell the Nigerian people, what is the total value of this project? That is one. What is Nigerian government putting down in this project? 3, how are they getting back the money they have put in? Because I know at the end of the day, they will tell you they're going to put a toll gate. So how is the toll going to be shared?
How are you sure just no?
That's the whole idea.
Because really, that's what Atiku raised. If it's a PPP, then why is Nigerian government funding it? Because
exactly.
If it's PPP, they're going to get their money from toll gates, right? So why is Nigerian government the one releasing the first installment of payment? And why do we have to have the first installment start from Eco Atlantic? Start from the base where it's starting from to Ekpe. Why is it starting there and why is it ending there? So these are questions that...
It's only those in power, especially the Minister for Works. He should be able to come out and respond. And I don't understand why Bayo Adenuga is always, out there trying to defend, trying to talk, trying to do this. There's a minister. He's not the Minister for Works. There is a Minister for Works. Allow the Minister for Works to do the talking. Allow the Minister for Works to tell the Nigerian people, to answer to the Nigerian people. So these are concerns. It's not only concern for Atiku, but this is real glaring concern for all Nigerians. We can't be talking of hunger, poverty, lack of employment, and government is being unaccountable to the Nigerian people.
Okay. All right. So, what do you foresee? I'd like to know what you foresee. Do you see the federal government responding this time and at least articulating and itemizing their response?
Well, I think the federal government is going to spend more time
in the spirit of democracy.
attacking P2B because
attacking Atiku because it was
no. They are going to leave Atiku and go to P2B. That's what they've been doing. That's what they do.
That's weird for you to think.
No, but that's the truth. You will see what will happen. They will not touch this matter anymore. Adenuga has responded before now. So they responded. Atiku Camp responded again. But what you will now see now is rather than address it, let P2B make a statement. You will see that becomes a headline. That is what you're going to see.
Okay. All right. So let's quickly move to the next conversation. Oh, wow. All right. So moving on, P2B said the 2023 presidential Labour Party presidential candidate has continued to lament deplorable conditions Nigerians live in under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Now, he says, quoting him, "An intense prayer for our dear country has been very necessary, more than ever before. as our nationhood is in dire need of divine intervention to survive. So he said. He added, our economy is already under severe stress. The currency is losing value daily. Unemployment and inflation rising. He implored Nigerians not to despair and miss the essence of meaning and its meaning of the festivity and its divine circle. Bottom line, he's complaining about everything the Nigerian that's been bedeviling the country, even as since the administration set in. But then, whilst also commenting on the Easter, the most Muslim festival, and encouraging God to hear our prayers and for us to do the needful. I like to your response to that. Apologies, please.
Peter Obi has and is now the voice of the people, the voice of reasoning, the voice of opposition, so to say. That's the truth. The issues Peter Obi has raised, or the things he's talking about, they're not new. Nigerians are experiencing it every day. Nigerians are really experiencing it every day.
Because he even mentioned, apologies, he did mention and did plead with Nigerians not to let the situation of the country, the country's prevailing challenges affect their spirit of love and peaceful coexistence. So we should, more or less still live in peace and love one another and care for one another in spite of what we're going through.
Well, yes, he's free to say that, but is that the reality on the roads, on the streets? That's not the reality.
I thought to raise this conversation, whilst you did mention that while trying to react to Atiku Abubakar's questions, that the presidency may likely attack Ipitobi, because I'm wondering why you think
they have always been doing that.
Why do you think that is so?
Because they feel that he shouldn't be talking. They feel that he shouldn't be asking questions. They feel that he should. Tomorrow you will hear Bayo Adenuga will tell you that he is crying because he lost an election. And that's what they've been doing consistently. So the thing is, we're having people who are speaking out, who are trying to put the government on her toes. And they're not doing it out of malice. They're doing it out of the fact that they care. That the fact that they see things are really, really getting bad in the country. And they want the government to sit up. They want the Nigerian government to be proactive rather than being reactive. That's just the bottom line. So if you're a government and you do not want to be criticized, then it means that you're not ready to be a leader. A leader must listen to criticisms and then make plans to make adjustments and to make changes. But right from May 29 till date, we've not seen any different. The only thing that Nigerians are seeing is suffering, hardship, hunger, poverty.
The president had mentioned that inflation is going to come down very soon and he will do his best. And Nigerians will smile, really. In fact, he said that all his economic policies are already yielding results and it will just keep yielding better results.
Well, if it's yielding results, and up to now, a bag of rice is about 80,000 naira.
90, really.
Oh, 90. So what result are we talking about? The only time we will know that this president is making any impact on the lives of Nigerians is when we have a serious purchasing power. That is the only time. But so long as, Gary is on the high, rice is on the high, ordinary food items cannot be affordable by Nigerians. So how long will Nigerians wait? Okay, Nigerians have to wait for another 1 year before they begin to feel the impact. Is that what this government is trying to tell us? If you, Precious, you have kids, and suddenly you removed a lot of items from their menu, and you're telling them it will get better, and in getting better, more items are being removed. You want the children to be happy? Even as your children, they will revolt one day. And I pray that we don't get to that point, because the pot is boiling. Nigeria has become more like, a pot that has cracks and the contents are falling out.
All right, so let's move on to that very first conversation that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has kept mum as the recent 240% electricity. 300! Something that went from 66 naira to 225. In fact, it's even above 300 because about 300.40%. Please. Okay, sorry, let me read the news the way they wrote it. They said President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has kept mum as the recent 240% electricity tariff hike worsens the suffering is being faced by Nigerians. But that wasn't a 240 because if you moved from 66 per kilowatt to 255 per kilowatt, please, I know I don't know maths, that's why I chose talking as a career, but you can help me do the calculation. You can see that that's not 240%. Okay, so it's been reported that the recent electricity tariff increase for customers has birthed another page of hardship for Nigerians. I did already mention that to you. Now, while the residents of the residues of paying cost by the removal of subsidy and the naira floating policies implemented by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government last year still lingers, the hike in electricity tariff for customers under Band A, getting at least 20 hours of power supply, has further unsettled Nigerians. Now, in defense of the hike, the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, noted last Friday that the 85% of 85% of electricity will not be affected, or electricity users will not be affected. He added that the government would save 1.4 trillion naira in electricity subsidies. He also did add in that statement that Nigerians are reckless, more or less, not quoting him now, on use of electricity. That how can you just leave your fridge on, your freezer on, your fan, your AC? You just enter the house. You say the house is too hot. You want to go and see somebody off. You just on your AC. Let it be cooling first. So you go and see someone off. You're wasting the electricity. That people who don't know how to manage electricity in Nigeria. He mentioned that. I'm sure you saw that video, right? Okay. So they all agreed that, so despite Adelabu's position, the Nigeria Labour Congress, Trade Union Congress, Labour Chambers of, Lagos Chambers of Commerce and Industry, and Abuja Chambers of Commerce and Industry have all openly condemned the new electricity tariff hike. In fact, they all agree that there is a cloud of confusion around the tariff implementation amid economic hardship. Do you agree? Okay, all right. Now, upon the new tariff announcement by the Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission Tuesday last week, the 11 discos began implementation that day, past that day, of the 255 kilowatt hours rate for customers getting 20 hours. Now, you know that prior to this time, there was this, accusation or allegation of someone buying a brand new vehicle worth almost, some very 500 million or more for a minister to be retained as as chairman of that ministry, that organization or that agency, as it were. Do you think it's necessary for the president to have reacted to this price hike, especially considering that the hike in price came, I think, just within 2 days of the president appealing to Nigerians to endure further, that the prices of things will soon come down in the country, and then boom, we saw this, and then we got a statement from Adelabu saying that Nigerians are reckless in the use of power. So is it necessary for the presidency to even say anything about the electricity tariff as people want him to?
To start with, I'm going to join those calling for the resignation of the minister.
Why, sir?
The minister is employed by the Nigerian people through the president, and the minister cannot stand out and insult the Nigerian people. That is what he has done. How much power is being generated in Nigeria? About 5,000 kilowatts.
Struggling between 3,600 and 5,000 kilowatts.
So, how will 5,000 kilowatts be able to service the entire country? That's a question government is not asking themselves.
About 218 million.
You're not
people.
adding value, but you're charging the people. You're robbing Peter to pay Paul. You're charging and robbing the ordinary Nigerians in order to sustain your lifestyles. That's what they're doing. If nobody's going to say to them, I will say to them. That is what they're doing. And I've been asking this question nobody wants to answer. When NEPA was privatized, those who bought into it, what did they bring to the table? If, as of today, we're still having the national grid collapsing, What did they bring to the table? Why is government not questioning those who bought shares or who bought over NEPA? When we had NEPA, who talked about band or no band? Nobody talked about band. We even had a better electricity supply when it was under NEPA than we're having it right now. If people come out and tell you, they'll tell you for hours, for days, they've not had light. And who categorized, at what point did they do this categorization? A band, B band, C band, D band. At what point? I saw the list that they released. I saw areas like somewhere, some places in Yanakbaja, Shomolu. You're putting them under
even
band
Agege.
A. Agege. You're putting them under band A.
Not all of them. You know, those areas will still have their band C. So a particular area can have band A, band B, and C.
I'm just wondering how they did it. Most of industrial areas don't even have light.
So my question is, if I was having like 5 hours supply of light daily, and I begin to have up to 15 to 18 hours supply or 15 to 20 hours of supply, does it mean I've automatically been moved from whatever band I was to? I don't understand.
No, but you see,
and then how about if I'm enjoying 20 up to 20 to 15 hours supply of light and it reduces? It's not constant. What happens? Will you give me a refund?
There's no refund.
So then what happens?
So that's why we're asking the question. How did you categorize? Oh, so government can actually think like this. And yet the government has not been able to fix prices of rent for Nigerians. Things that affect the ordinary Nigerians is none of their business. The only thing that government is interested in is inflict hardship pains on the Nigerian people. That's what they're doing.
Well, that's your opinion.
It is my personal opinion. Because I'm a Nigerian and I know what it means right now. Promise, you need to go out there.
Precious, really.
Oh, precious. You need to go out there and see what is happening to people. Then you will understand that something is definitely wrong with leadership.
Can I start with what's happening to me? Because I'm also human and I'm a Nigerian living in Nigeria. So can I start with a case study of myself? Because I also wear same shoes.
You want to be called a PC woman leader now?
Because I also wear same shoes. Before you think I'm living in Somalia.
Jokes apart, I honestly believe that, this government seems to be far from the people they are ruling. They are not feeling the pulse of the people. Because if they're feeling the pulse of the people, some decisions they're taking, they shouldn't be taking it. A lot of decisions this government has taken, they shouldn't be taking it. Look at the issue of dollar. You're doing everything to bring down dollar, but you're not producing anything. So when all the money you are using to bring down dollar disappears, what happens then? You want to bring down inflation in one hand. You are taxing the people on the other hand. How does it work? What's the mathematics? I don't understand who is solving the mathematics for this government.
Right.
This government should address certain issues. The first issue I had thought that this government would address is the issue of insecurity. You take out insecurity, there will be food in the market. The price of food items will come down. But the way it is now, the food items are not there. The prices are still going up. So government should actually, what I'm expecting is they should tell us some other things they want to, do right now that they want to, remove subsidy on. Maybe air. Maybe they want to remove subsidy on air. They should prepare our minds very well so we know.
That's a bit too extreme. All right, let's move forward. As 60 members of the House of Representatives, that's delving into politics now. Those 60 members of the House of Representatives elected on the platform of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, yesterday, Monday, demanded the resignation of the party's acting national chairman, Omar Demagun. The development was a fresh twist in the political war between River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara and the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike. The 60 lawmakers hinged their call for Damagun's resignation on his alleged silence amid the political crisis between Wike and Fubara in River State. Fubara and Wike's loyalists have been at loggerheads in a political crisis in River State. So, so people are already saying, in fact, some people are already requesting that, please, let's even Kukuma zone out the PDP chairmanship to another zone, Kukuma. So there's a lot going on. And it looks like almost all the parties are having their issues right now. Because if we go to Labour Party straight now, the Nigerian Labour Congress, the owners of Labour Party, according to the documentation that they claim they have said that, you know what, to have hereby dissolved the Abure's national party, national. In fact, they sacked them, they scattered them. Party's National Working Committee, and that's another problem, because you do know that Abure and the Nigerian Labour Congress were loggerheads prior to that National Working Committee, convention that took place that got Abure re-elected. So as though that wasn't enough, right now the caucus of the NLC have come out to say that, you know what, as a matter of fact, we no one do again. Let them just pack up one corner. What do you think that means for Abure? And then what do you think will be the outcome of this statement by the PDP lawmakers?
You know, when we started this program, we're talking about elders.
Yes.
And I told you we don't have elders in Nigeria.
Well, we do, sir.
Sadly, we don't. Shamefully, we do not. Where have all these people been all this while? When Wike and Fubara's matter has been on, why have they not spoken up? When the members elected in the State House of Assembly all decamped on the instructions of Wike to APC, where were they? Elders don't sit and allow things to go bad before they speak up. No. Elders are supposed to be filled with wisdom, knowledge and understanding. And they're supposed to be active, proactive, and not reactive. Because the next meeting of PDP is coming up, everybody is jostling now for power.
So you think it's just positioning themselves?
It's just, that's what it is.
You think this is about positioning?
Simple. Everybody wants to be recognized. Everybody wants to have, I form the camp. Let it be that my camp is strong enough. But after that, what happens? Politicians don't think about the ordinary Nigerians. It's so painful that the same ordinary Nigerians tomorrow, they will give you a cup of garri, give you 1 pack of Indomie, onions with 2,000 on it, and you will sheepishly go and vote for them. We don't have men of honor and proven integrity in governance. And that's why you're having all this recklessness going on. The people that are elected feel that they're not accountable to the people who elected them. And until we change our electoral law to the point where, you cannot win an election on the platform of PDP, then decamp to APC and retain that position. This is why we don't have political parties with ideology. So anything goes. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't even know why PDP till today is finding it difficult to, wave the big stick on Wike. You can't be in a party and be, backstabbing that party and you still remain there. Then there must be something that those, in the leadership of PDP are probably benefiting from Wike. That's why he's still in the party. So these are issues. This, for me, I think that it is time Wike himself comes out and tell Nigerians where he belongs. Are you PDP or are you APC? You can't be in two political parties. Now, regarding River State, I remember when they went for the acclaimed peace meeting in Abuja, and they were given a marching order, so to say. I said it then that the whole thing was an opportunity that Wike was looking for. He was trying to ensure that he has his men back in place, and then he will come out and begin to continue the war. And that is what he's doing. Why won't Wike go and rest? You have been a governor for 8 years. Why don't you allow the new governor to run the state the way he wants? Why must you occupy a post in Abuja and be eyeing what is happening in River State? Not be juju be that. What kind of political system are we running in this country? And it all boils down to the electoral law we have, where somebody will be a governor for 8 years, embezzle the funds of the state, leave the state worse than it was when you got in there, and then when you complete your period, you run to the National Assembly and go and sit as a senator. That has now become the retirement home for former governors who have not performed well in their various states. These are things that needs to change if this country needs to move forward. Now, looking at Labour Party and the Nigerian Labour Congress. Nigerian Labour Congress, seem to be forgetting the fact that, they should allow the party to run on its own. Labour Congress should be more involved. Should be more involved in what is happening to the ordinary Nigerian workers.
Well, they say they registered a party.
What party? What have they done? What did they do throughout the elections? What has NLC done? What did they do to bring Labour Party to life? When the Apapa faction was busy attacking their presidential candidate, what did they do? They all went to sleep. Now, P2B has gone into the party, giving the party a new phase of life, giving the party the popularity in it, and then people are waking up and talking about they own the party. I think that it's time Joe Ajire go and find something better to do. He should face his real function as a labor unionist.
So you think it was fair that Aburi had a national convention that wasn't inclusive?
What made
that didn't carry everyone along?
How?
Because that's the accusation by the Labour Congress.
Were they not aware about it? Was it not broadcast?
Well, yes.
So what other inclusiveness to them was?
Did you see an advertorial about it?
It was announced. I heard it on radio.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Oh, wow. But he said he didn't.
See, I think the whole thing is that if Nigerian Labour Congress, so to say, believe that they own the Labour Party, then they have failed the party ab initio. They have failed completely, woefully. How many of their members did they mobilize for the elections? Their members were jumping from APC to PDP to ABGA to Labour. How many of them can beat their chest and say, yes, we campaign for our presidential candidate? How many of them? What they don't understand is that there's a big line between the Obedience and Labour Party. They think that because of P2B, they don't understand that P2B has its own different arrangement. The Obedience can move to any party, storm any party, and get what they want. The Obedience are not tied down to Labour Party. And that's the truth. But I think it is high time, Labour Party, NLC, sit down and stop this naked dance they're doing, disgracing themselves all over the place. Joe Ajire is fighting for the life of Labour Party today. How much did he fight on the issue of subsidy is gone? How much? He didn't fight any fight. So what are we talking about? How much has the Nigerian Labour Congress fought for the rights of the Nigerian people? Maybe it's time government disbands such organizations and let people face their way and do other things. The Nigerian Labour Congress has continued to fail the Nigerian people, fail the Nigerian workers, so to say.
All right. So let's move to Kano State now. So Kano State is saying that the Kano State government is set to arraign former Governor Abdullahi Ganduje in court over alleged misappropriation of state funds and alleged diversion of landed properties belonging to the state. You know that dollar Bavariga thing, yeah? Yeah. So an arraignment summoned someone seen by newsmen show that Ganduje is to be arraigned alongside his wife, Hafsat, and 6 others on an 8-count charge bordering on alleged dollar bribery, as well as diversion and misappropriation of funds, including $418,000 and 1.38 billion naira. So this issue has been ongoing, and Ganduje was credited to have said that they actually don't have the right to call him, that it's only EFCC and the Attorney General that can question him over that Babariga dollar issue. So do you see him responding to the summons and arraignments?
Well,
especially considering that he's the chairman of the ruling party.
Well, it doesn't matter who he is. Justice is blind.
Is it really blind?
It's supposed to be blind.
Okay.
Irrespective of who you are. And I think that, it's a really slap on the Kano people, the kind of utterances Ganduje made as a former governor. As a former governor, your stewardship is being called to question. You should come and answer to your people. You should come and be accountable to your people. It is this lack of accountability and transparency that has led us to where we are today. So I'm in support of the governor. Whatever the governor will do, whatever the judiciary in that state will do, Ganduje, his wife and son should go and answer to the people that elected them, to the people that made him a governor for 8 years. They have a right to question him. And this idea of, once you finish as a governor or a president, nobody can call you to question. It has to end. It has to end. We can't keep saying we want to be like other developed nations, and yet fraud, corruption is what we are embracing. So if the governor has been accused by the state government that he has misappropriated funds and all of that, it doesn't matter whether he's even if it becomes tomorrow Mr. President, it doesn't matter. He has to go and answer to his constituency. APC chairmanship is not his constituency. His constituency is the Kano people. Let him go and answer to them. Let him go and give account of his stewardship. And that is why I'm saying that it is time we begin to have a strong judiciary system, devoid of any sentiments whatsoever. So for him to say that it's only the EFCC and the Attorney General is a fallacy. He's just talking, he's just making too much noise. He just feels that as the chairman of the ruling party, he can get away with anything. It's not possible.
All right. Okay, so let's quickly move on. Shraibu's case. Well, we cannot stop politics today without talking about Edo State, and you know that. I like that grind on your face. I like the smile. So the chairman of PDP is saying that, he can still win the election. He can still contest and win, irrespective. It won't stop him. The impeachment will not stop him from winning election. Do you think his political career has been truncated by that impeachment?
No. Between you and I, we know the role he played bringing Obaseki to power.
Do you think he was over-ambitious?
Nobody is over-ambitious.
Because that's what it is.
He has a right.
Like. That's what has been said.
He has a right to contest governorship of the state.
But when your boss has told you...
Who is the boss? We need to stop this whole thing.
Anyway.
We need to stop it. The governors should stop treating their deputies as spare tires. This is not a master-servant relationship. They are meant to complement each other. The relationship between a governor and his deputy should be like that between a husband and a wife. But unfortunately, no. The governors are too powerful. And at every point in time, they throw their deputies under the trunk. We should not encourage that. They both had a joint ticket, isn't it? They both had a joint ticket. If in the course of the campaigns and everything, something is found against the deputy, it happened in Bayelsa, where the deputy governorship candidate had an issue, it affected the governorship candidate. So why do governors always treat their deputies as if they're not part of the system? Shraibu has endured a lot from Obaseki. You remember he moved him from his office, sent him to an office that they didn't find the key. Why are our governors being this reckless? And why is it that every governor that is leaving office wants to put their stooge there? Why? Why don't you allow the people to decide who will govern them after you? A lot of things need to be straightened out if we really, really want Nigeria to be this Nigeria we're all, thinking about, we're all hoping for. We can't be hoping for a better country.
Okay.
When our leaders are doing the opposite.
All right. So let's quickly run through this case with Nnamdi Kanu, where the lawyer is saying that they've been denied access to him and lamenting seizure of document by Nigerian Secret Police DSS yet again.
This whole thing about Nnamdi Kanu, the DSS, and the federal government is becoming a laughing matter. Just yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before, I heard that Fume has been released. Am I right?
Yesterday.
Yeah. And
Wadume.
And that he had this...
The kidnapped guy that's, caused an interface between
the army and
the police, where we had about 5 police officers killed. Yes. And the army officer who was linked to having conversation with him, that the army said they will court-martial, sent on a training that he's never been back, and he's been off the radar. That's the incident.
So we seem to be having selective justice in Nigeria. I want to really understand why the courts are disgracing themselves over this Nnamdi Kanu's case. Why is the DSS, just chasing shadows? What is the problem? Why deny his lawyers access to him? The DSS keeps coming into the news on the negative side. When you started, you call them secret police. What's secret about them? Everybody knows who DSS is all over the place. So what makes them secret? Maybe there's something they're not even telling the Nigerian people about this whole thing about Nnamdi Kanu. Because the whole thing is becoming like a child's play. I don't understand, this back and forth. The man is in court. He's in your custody. And since he's in court, he should have access to his lawyers. So why are they not allowing his lawyers to have access to him? Why are they seizing documents? Are the documents implicative? Are the documents implicating DSS? So I think it is, it's unfortunate, and it is, very sad that we found ourselves in this kind of situation where people are even scared to air their opinions anymore. So I think the right thing to do is that government should please try as much as possible to find a political solution to the issue of Nnamdi Kanu.
All right, Lagos phone lines are now open. Let's quickly take your calls. 12 minutes calls. It's 12 minutes past 8 o'clock right here in our studio. We need to hurry up with this so that we can go straight to our step-down conversation. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call us with. That is 0700 903 903 903. You'd like to call the WhatsApp line? It is 0817 175 6338. 0817 175 6338. That's the number to call. Hello, good evening to you.
Good evening, Madam Precious.
Sir?
And of course, good evening, sir, the guest in the house.
Good evening, sir.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Peter Usifo. I'm calling from Abanoja in Ikosu.
Welcome, go ahead.
I want to talk on the increase in the electricity tariff. Actually, I have not had Obasanjo speak on this since they made that increase. And I have not had any group from Jonathan's administration speak on this. I've been waiting for them to talk. Because to me, the increase to me is just a diversionary tactic by the government as it were. I'm expecting them to talk about the increase in the supply of electricity, that's the mega one. Remember, South Africa once called us generator republic. We are producing under 5,000 megawatts. And by now, we should be talking about at least 20 to 50,000 megawatts as compared to our population.
You say South Africa produces how many thousand megawatts?
You said?
You say South Africa does what with megawatts?
No, I only said that South Africa called us generator republic. But as a land, they are producing about 40,000 megawatts.
Okay.
So then we in Nigeria, we're supposed to be producing about 20,000 to at least 30,000 megawatts, if not more than that, to serve the population. So, but remember, a lot of money has been sunk into this electricity business from Obasanjo's regime. That was why I call Obasanjo's name.
So we're talking about the tariff increment. Since a lot of money, just hold on, hang in there, right?
Okay.
Since a lot of money was spent in Obasanjo's administration in the electricity sector, how much increment in tariff did he make in that administration? How much increment did Nigerians suffer in electricity in Jonathan's administration, who also invested money in the electricity sector? By the way, Buhari also invested money in the electricity sector. How much increment did we, apart from the periodic increment, which is just very minute, right, compared to what Nigerians are going through now? And how much did they? How much increment did we notice? I mean, how good did we get light supply in this administration that should balance the percentage of increment in tariff? That's the question that is asked. Osifo, hello. Okay, apologies. All right. Hello, good evening to you. So when we're defending things and trying to lambast other administrations, let's also consider how people fared in that administration vis-a-vis this administration. It's just fair that we balance situations, right? Hello, good evening to you. Welcome. Can you help me turn up the volume of your radio set, please? Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening. Welcome. Thank you. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Mr. Jetta. I'm calling from Ijeoma.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
In fact, I have taken, I can say, months and the days that I've been calling on this line. I couldn't get it, but thank God that I got it this evening. What I want to say about this our country, and I want to thank the team in the studio there. But the pity.
Unfortunately, your network is so bad we can't hear you, sir. Maybe you try to call us back. Hello, good evening to you.
Yeah, good evening, Precious.
Sir, you're welcome.
Yeah, this is Richard from Germany, and good evening, the gentleman in the studio. My sister, Precious.
Sir?
This, what you call it now, this project from Lagos to Calabar, what was it called?
The Lagos-Calabar, yes, sir.
Yeah, 700 kilometers, right?
Yes.
My question is, why should that project start from that Lagos? Why that project must start from there? Why not it start from Calabar? Or let it start halfway from Calabar and then from Lagos? Look, let me tell you, Nigerians are not asking they're not holding their government responsible for all these shenanigans, all these fraudulent projects. For example, Precious,
Sir?
How many years has this government been building East-West Road? East-West Road, have they completed it? No. Lagos-Ibadan Express, have they completed it? No. Enugu-Port Harcourt, has the government completed these projects? No. All everywhere scattered projects. Yet they are, on another project that will last 40 years, even not completed. Look, this is the only way to embezzle money, to siphon money. This project can never go anywhere. Okay, and for example, look at, they are trying to start this project in Lagos, and they are trying to demolish already, companies that are giving Nigerians, work, employment. Now I'm reading that they want to start from there. They will start demolishing, properties of, companies. This project cannot go anywhere. This project is a scam. This project is a sham. This project is to phone money, nothing else, nothing less than that. If they want to do it, they should start, at least let 3 companies be involved. Let one start in Calabar, one start in the middle, and one start in Lagos. Starting it from Lagos alone is a sham, is a scam. And let them complete East-West Road before talking all this nonsense that they're doing. How this government, do they think that Nigerians are crazy? Do they think that we are daft? We're not daft. We know what they're doing. This is just, trying to compensate somebody that suspended the election. Nothing more, nothing else. Nnamdi Kanu must be free. DSS should please release Nnamdi Kanu. It should happen to that young man in the prison. We are begging Tinubu government, we are begging DSS to release this Nnamdi Kanu and let there be peace in Nigeria and in Igbo land. Thank you. Good night from here.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening. Welcome.
My name is Kisle. I'm calling from Nigeria.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
You see, the issue of this country, sometimes I wait for the country. Where do I want to start from? We have judiciary in this country.
We do.
We have judiciary, then the government are acting home video, using the masses to act home video, and the judiciary are there. Are they under our judiciary under the politicians, or the politicians are under them? Where are we going to start? Is it by the NEPA? Is it by the hospitality? Is it by the road? Is it common water to drink? 1990, they say they will give us water. They look in Calabar, they say they will give us water. Today we will not get water. You never complete project with they done. If they go award another project, money no day. When they appoint many aides, money no day. The whole is whether they appoint now, who they pay them. The whole vehicles they are using, who is filling it with fuel? Why the masses don't have fuel to use in their home? No light. Who my sister? Make them stop to the deceive themselves. They don't know what thing they could do. Make them stop to the deceive themselves. They don't get what thing they will tell us. Let them close their mouth and go to it. They are all fraudsters.
Oh yeah, thank you, sir. All right, I appreciate you, eh? You people have started, though. After you said, don't let you say your mind, though. But I appreciate you all the same. Thank you. But you must learn how to mind your language, please. It's not that hard, is it? Hello, good evening. Hello. Hello, good evening. Are you there?
Hello, good evening, Precious.
Yes, good evening, sir. Welcome. Thank you. What's your name, sir?
Hello.
I can hear you. What's your name, sir?
Hello, Precious. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. I'm Tabalai calling from Adidas.
You're welcome, sir. Okay, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead, please.
Okay. I appreciate you guys. You are doing a good job. And again, the last caller, he spoke a lot and is very okay. And he spoke from the experience. This contract. When are they going to finish the contract? The previous one are not been finished. This coastal from Lagos to Calabar, when are they going to finish it? If they wait to start for money, Nigeria will have sense. If they had allowed other countries to be happening, what of the previous contract? Are they finish it? Let's finish them. If they wait to stop money, they wait to start for Nigeria's resources. We should look onto it. That's my contribution. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right, let's see if we can go through some messages now very quickly. Good evening, Precious and the guests. It's sad hearing the so-called Northern elders, but contrary to the guest admission that we don't have elders, we still have elders with conscience, e.g. Pa Ayo Adebanjo, though they are very few. As for NLC interference in the politics of Labour Party, this Ajeru guy is a disgrace. He's not concerned with the suffering of the Nigerian workers, but instead interested in being a tool to destabilize opposition party. No wonder they gave him Basbus at Owerri the other day. More brutal beatings is coming his way. Calm down, Sahib Barawa. So you would a lot of people are saying that they expected Ajeru to have championed a protest against this current tariff increment, that it shouldn't even be affected at all. But it looks like he's been silent about it, and he's been more concerned about the internal, stuff's going on in the Labour Party.
Ajero has lost faith with the Nigerian workers. He has lost faith with the Nigerian people, and he's just trying to use all the shenanigans going on in Labour Party to cover up. This is not what the Labour Union stands for. We need to understand that. We need to draw a line, and we need to learn to respect boundaries. Ajero should face the Nigerian workers who put him there. He should be accountable to them. He should fight for their rights and allow the Labour Party to sort out its political problems.
All right. Okay. All right. So we'll move to other issues. All right. Maybe we'll take this call first. Hello. Good evening to you. Good evening.
Precious.
Sir? Hey, good evening. The way you called me, I had to answer with speed. Welcome.
Sir or ma?
Anyone.
Prince Chilaka. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Okay, my name is Jova for the sake of those who don't know. Precious, let me begin from the electricity issue. I think the minister is getting it wrong. Let me help Peter Osifo. South Africa is generating a little above 58,000 megawatts, while Nigeria is generating a little above 4,000 megawatts. In population, we are more. So I expected that the minister should have focused on how to increase the power generation first. It is even shameful for the minister to say that, to admit that Nigerians are not in Z-class A, or what did he call that? Because it's whatever age level or something like that. Why should Nigerians not have lights? Why is it that almost about 200 billion people in this country, a little about 18,000 people or so he called it, that are in that level A? That is very shameful to admit. And that aside, increasing the tariff for now shouldn't have been the first thing we were supposed to do. Now, let me quickly speak on Joe Ajero, the NLC and the Labour Party. Joe Ajero has been looking for to fight a very long time from now. Before now, I'm going to say. And this is the reason why he should even move on and make protests. This electricity increase in tariff would, take away all that is being paid to the lowest working class person, 13,000 naira the minimum wage. So this is the first reason why he should, lead Nigeria into protest. Since our Senate are not working, this is one thing that President Muhammad Buhari could not, agree to do, increasing the electricity tariff while in office for 8 years. And it is happening now under our president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So Joe Ajero should lead that fight and leave Labour Party to sort out their issues. Or, except if he's telling Nigerians now that he is admitting to what Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president, told him the other time, that they should wait for 2027 and become a political party. If that's what he wants to do, let him resign from being NLC president and join politics like Adam Oshomole did as early as possible. This is the bit I have to offer this evening while I wait for my step down. Thank you.
I'm coming. That step down, I need you very well, because I need plenty of you to have your say in that step down conversation. Hello, good evening to you. Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Precious.
Good evening, welcome.
Hello.
Good evening, I can hear you. Welcome.
Evening.
Yes, sir, welcome.
Okay. In two having in this country, I understand this state and have followers. You understand what I mean? No matter how Satan, no matter how his character. What I'm saying, if Obasanjo said about the light, that nobody will not criticize this government about this light. Does it mean that because they fail, others will follow the fail? Is it good like that? Mr. Precious.
Sir, go ahead.
Hello?
I am not actually supposed to be answering questions. I'm the one who should ask.
So, I'm calling from Ejibo. All these things we are saying, if people criticize government, it's not a crime. When you criticize somebody, you don't the Bible. you criticize them, they take offense. Look at the way they cage you people.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. So let me go to my WhatsApp messages now. Oh, YouTube, perhaps first. Okay, says, where is Precious? I did hear now. You know, see me since. I did hear finish after I go yab me. Oga 404 says, Queen Precious, good evening, ma. Thank you, King, sir. Franklin Okwadili says, don't say regrets voting Bola Tinubu. Alas, Tinubu rather let Nigeria sue INEC chairman. He said so. Peter Madi says, Precious, in as much as I like your program, you are a culprit too in shutting people down when they want to air valid criticisms of Tinubu's, I will not talk the other thing, but government. The other thing, I will not talk it. Sorry, yeah? I challenge you to read this out. I have read it out. The other one, I did not read it out. So when you use a language that is sane, I will read it out. Jessica Becky says, good evening, Precious, and I guess Nigeria is talking about light. All the whole West, I say the whole West Africa I have been to have light all over. Only in Nigeria that you know, and that's why Nigeria and Somalia is better. Peter Madi says APC government is not robbing Peter to pay Paul. They are robbing Peter to pay Peter. That's what you said. And then Victor Adebayo says, yes, sir, you are very right. We need to stop the nonsense happening in Nigeria. Ken Ezeke says, releasing Nnamdi Kanu, he's not a threat. That's what you said. But let me quickly move to more WhatsApp messages. And this here says, Abuja, I have thought, okay. This is Basi from Abuja. I have the same thought process as His Excellency, the former Vice President, on this coastal highway matter. The government told us that, and I remember Minister Dave Umahi saying not one kobo of government money will be spent. Yeah. All of a sudden, the government has spent 1.0 trillion. Don't forget that 0.6 trillion naira. That's about 6 million naira on top. We should not joke with that. That's a lot of money. On a 47-kilometer stretch of the road, a project that is about 700 kilometers long. Now, government magic with a last sink that's here, BD. So that's what you said. All right. Good evening, Precious and Prince Chilaka. I support former Vice President Atiku in demanding for the details of the financial implications of the super highway project, coastal highway really, especially the total cost and duration of the project. Imagine just a mere 47 kilometer in the first phase out of 700 kilometers. I wonder what this administration is hiding, because as far as I am concerned, this project is just another avenue to enrich the president's cronies at the expense of our nation's well-being. Lopsided policies is all I see every day. This country will never cease to surprise in negative ways. This is quite annoying and painful, just as the prince said. Comrade Tosin Williams from Edo State sent in that. And His Royal Highness BC Muko says, if they just restored power after 2 days of a total blackout, only to take it back in a minute, please, Precious, what band can that be called? His bandwagon.
Bandwagon.
I'm pretty sure, like I just say that. Is it a bandwagon?
It's bandwagon.
And for the answers, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is seeking from President Tinubu's government on Lagos Coastal Highway. It's unfortunate that he will never get any tangible answer. Instead, he will only receive backlash and criticisms for wanting to know the truth. This is exactly the situation we have found ourselves, and it's very sad. Unfortunate. But these are valid questions. Very valid questions. In a sane country, these questions need to be answered. Okay. Precious, good evening. Tinubu is in Lagos now. Somebody should call him to listen to VOP and hear people's feelings. Thanks. Annabelle from Kuka. Precious, don't be surprised when you wake up one beautiful morning and be informed that 85% of Nigerian citizens had been sold out to service Nigerian debts. Odom, good day, and I go there they give on a news for their place they sell on. Simisola from Isolo says, Precious and guest, good evening, and our Tuesday guest. He's explicitly hitting the nail on the head. This present government derives satisfaction in inflicting excruciating pain on the patriotic Nigerians, and it's so pathetic. This is the polite way to describe their policies. Thank you for being so kind with your words, Simisola. Okay. Good evening, VOP. Nigerians are running out of patience. Please tell them that Nigerians will be forced to apply Lapa's initiative in 2 Kings chapter 7 verse 4 to 8. Even vex good Bible, Old Testament. Electricity tariff should be revised now. They have drawn a battle line between husband and wife, children and father. Turn off fridge.
It's no longer off the mic. It's turn off the fridge.
Turn off fridge. turn off mic, and it's not turn off fan. I am moving mad. Oh my goodness. Oh my God, he said no more suffering and smiling. Harry Ogada sent in that from Pine Grove. Very thank you. It's actually not funny. Trust me, it's not funny. I don't want to hear anybody turn on AC. Turn on which AC? Which AC? Go and pour water on your body. Even the water, easy to pump out. Okay. Good evening, precious and their guests, VOP. How can the country move forward with this type of massive looting by our politicians? Let Nigerians speak in one voice and put pressure on our legislators to pass a law for independent candidates, because all the political parties in Nigeria lack ideologies. They are only there for their selfish interest, not for the people, as no visionary and credible leader will like to join these political parties. Please, what is the way forward? Because we can't continue this way. My dear brother, Stephen Akimbisola, that is why you need to be daily informed so that you build that consciousness. I am hopeful that Tinubu's administration will do well. Nigeria has been living on borrowed monies for a long time. To change this, we need to swallow some bitter pills. I have been wondering and asking the same question your guest asked. Why do past administration escape probe when it's obvious that they abuse positions? If you ask me.
No, I go.
Good evening, precious. I'm passive from Ijegu. I strongly believe that our presidents and governors don't listen to radio. If not, these discussions should have been used as an exponential tools for solving Nigerian problems. They listen. Can I bet you? They listen. Okay. And then, this here says, good evening, precious, and your guests in the studio. What APC are doing to be whenever he speaks is to talk him down, playing with his psyche, the way they are doing to Nnamdi Kanu now. But we don't know this person is a gift from God, which is natural. Solomon Asika from Motion sent in that message. And Falk now says, good evening, Madam Precious, and hello to Chief in the studio. We have to accept that some Nigerians don't discover, but the love to recover what others discover. NLC falls in that category. No one needs to regret until we understand presidential election is not only by election that needs urgent attention. We need to start voting in the Congress election and vote all the non-elders out, lest we are made by Congress, not president. But really, that's talking about those who are, because at the end of the day, these people that's voting, these National Working Committee members, that's the same people that will not elect people that would be the aspirants for the parties. Because our real problem is not that we don't even have credible candidates, or it's not because we don't have bright minds in Nigeria. It's because we don't present the people that we think are actually the brightest of our minds. I don't know if I'm correct, or do you think otherwise?
No, I just wanted, I think there was one thing you read when somebody said this government would do better, that Nigerians should be patient. And I laughed inside of me because, and why did I laugh? I said, he talked about borrowing, that Nigeria has been living on borrowed funds.
For years. And
I said, since this government came into power, how much have they borrowed? They have borrowed money to dash to people. You don't borrow money for palliative.
So we borrowed the money that we're using to walk the road between Nigeria and, Niger Republic.
You borrowed.
We borrowed the money that we used to buy them about 10 vehicles.
You borrowed. Oh, wow. And you also borrowed. This government has borrowed money, which we hear that Better Edu's ministry ate some of it or embezzled the odd. Unfortunately, the good thing about this government is that the goats and the lions have not started eating money yet. But I'm sure we'll get there.
God forbid. God forbid. All right. So Lagos, let's take a quick break. When we come back from the break, we'll go straight to our step-down conversation. So, apologies for your calls and messages. There's so many, but we can't handle all of them. So we have to go straight to our step-down conversation. Prince Chilaka. So another fire incident in a market in Lagos State. I'm sorry I'm making this a step-down conversation because it's not supposed to be a trivial issue. But there's a myth to some of these fire incidents. There's been rumors and stories that we've heard over the years that there are some people that when these fires happen in markets like that, they become richer. Is it a myth or is it correct? Well, hold your answer. Just hold your breath after the break. Lagos, this is our step-down conversation after the break. If you know anything that knows anything, or you know anybody that knows anything about this issue, I'd really love your sincere and honest opinion. Let's even know where our problem starts from. After the break, we'll be right back.
Listen to hot critical analysis and top trending topics of the day. Join Precious, Monday to Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. on The Evening Rush.
Lagos, you are welcome back. It is still 90.3 Voice of the People of FM, and this is still the evening rush, by the way. It's your girl, Precious, not APC woman leader. Okay, so a total of 4 buildings have collapsed due to the intensity of the fire that engulfed part of the Somo markets on Lagos Island today, Tuesday. Mr. Ibrahim Farinloye, a Lagos Territorial Coordinator, National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, told News Agency of Nigeria that 14 other buildings were seriously impacted by the inferno. The fire was massive. I'll show you a video of it. It was massive. It was crazy. Now, Farinloye said the cause of the fire, according to sources, could be attributed to the refueling of a running generator at the market, which resulted in the inferno and could not be contained. So, while some others are already having, mysterious meaning to it and saying that, so that fires engulfing markets, shops, business environments in Nigeria is a norm, is a continual thing. Do we think these are all incidents and coincidence, or do we think there's actually a traditional myth to this? Because people complain that people get rich after this. Now, a practical incident is one that happened in, is it Balogun Market or Idumota sometime, where they said, is this particular woman's shop that is always burning almost every year? Every year, her shop burns almost every year. A particular person, and that each year it burns, she even comes out bigger, refurbishes the shop and fills it up more. So, and people are not saying, is there a mystery attached to this? I really love your sincere opinion.
I think it's carelessness to start with.
So, there's no juju or jazz to this.
No. You see,
so those are just mere myth.
If juju, like people claim, is an issue, governors, president should be sworn in with juju. I keep saying it. Maybe that's where we'll have accountability. But you see, the major problem is that most people in these markets don't have fire extinguishers. You don't have fire service close to them. But I know that, yes, there has been stories in the past, especially when Tojo Market got burned, and there were stories that it was a setup. If you talk about a setup, yes, but talking about juju and all of that, I keep asking myself, why would the juju come and set a place on fire? I think it's just carelessness on the people, and sometimes, maybe those who have insurance can actually be part of it, but nobody prays for their livelihood to be burnt, and that's the truth. Nobody prays for that, but from what I've read so far about the fire incident, they say it's an explosion from a generator, and I'm trying to imagine what kind of generator that exploded. So
you need to see the inferno.
No, I know. I've seen it.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So I need to understand what kind of generator is it that the thing exploded and nobody.
So you don't believe there's a myth to raise some mystic thing. All right.
No.
So let's go straight to the phone lines. Hello. Good evening.
Good evening, Precious.
Good evening, sir. I'm fine, thank you, Mr. Ola. Mr. Ola, we're on a step-down conversation. No?
Oh, okay. No. Don't let me take you back.
Thank you.
Don't worry.
Thank you so much. All right, I appreciate
Bye-bye.
you. Thank you so much.
Dear.
Thank you. He can hear you. Thank you very much. All right, so Lagos phone lines are open. It is 0700 903 903 903. WhatsApp line is 0817 175 6338. 0817 175 6338. Is it every fire incident in a business environment or market in Nigeria that is attributed to some wizardry or witchcraft or juju? And is that really a thing, or they're just mere myth? I'd really like to find out from you. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Once again, good evening.
Good evening, welcome.
Hello.
Oh, hi, Joval. Welcome.
I think, thank you. This step down is a bit different from our usual step down. This one has to do with looking like it's another news item again.
No, it's not news. So it's mystic. It's in the power of juju, if that works. And it's truly some of the things we deal with on step down conversation. So we want
all
to
of this juju belief. I don't think those things they work.
You've never seen anywhere where it happens.
No, I've not seen that happening. I want to believe that if such a thing happens, it happens as an accident and not as a juju.
Okay, so thank you. It will shock you that somebody will call you and tell you that somebody has gotten rich because of it. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Welcome.
Good evening.
Thank you. Welcome. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Okay, I'm I'm Victor calling from Saplaika.
Victor, you're welcome. Victor, have you heard anything about, people getting richer because shops or marketplaces get burnt?
There are many things. So I believe, I know. I can't doubt it. There are mystery in it. We can't know everything until, you see, the black power is something else.
And that black power cannot transform our country.
Evil now, you see what happened now, everything has been destroyed. Even some people that are not involved in that black power, in one way or the other, have lost their property. So that this black power operates is temporary. The person is not going anywhere. So you keep on turning like that, every year, according to them, turning like that. It must definitely go down also, maybe after 12 months. So all those things are there. But it's not one. It's not in Ghana. It doesn't last forever. It has an expiring date. And at the same time, it's dangerous.
Thank you.
Whosoever that is in it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We don't know it's a lie.
Thank you so
all
much.
those things are there. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Thank you. I appreciate you. Hello, good evening.
Hi, Precious. Hi.
Hi, John from Berlin. Mr. Step Down. Go ahead. Educate me. You've been in Nigeria for a while before you traveled. So do you believe that there is some sort of mystical powers to some fire infernos in Nigeria or in Africa? Let me leave the other part of the world.
Yeah, I'll be coming from two angles.
Okay.
Because I grew up in the supermarkets also, like that kind of thing.
Should.
For a rumor like this to circulate, there's an 50% atom of truth in it, because sometimes when I go to my dad is a trader. Sometimes when we go to the shop and try to open the shop, we see some kind of calabash or something on the floor where some people don't do some certain thing, but I don't know if it can lead to fire. That's what I don't know. But if there is any rumor, because one thing I know about Nigeria is any small amebo or rumor, there is 50-50 chances that it might be true. Maybe it never happened to you. That is one. That's the angle I'm coming from. One. The second angle is there is a lot of fire hazard that is in the market, like the buildings and everything, the way they build everything. The fire department, they don't regulate and control all those substances in Nigeria. Like you can go to the supermarket now, you see a lot of goods that a lot of people are selling. Most of them are flammables, and it can, once it catch one shop, it don't spread to the other places. The fire regulations, there's no control. The building, the hazard. What about if you have a building or the supermarket and you say there's no how will I put it, where if there is any emergency where everybody can run into in case of a fire emergency, or if there's no plan, let me put it in that way. So for me, I do not believe in it, but I feel the fire department needs to close all those places down, those places that is not, that can cause harm to the government. So they should be proactive rather than quench fire, money waste, people start all over their life again. I think that's my opinion I can say on that.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thanks for educating us. I appreciate you. Okay, so going to some messages. Good evening, Precious and their guest. Market fire mostly deliberate by authority when they want to take over the markets. Hey, that's another angle.
Yeah.
A different angle entirely now. I didn't see that coming. And he says, no be only juju. Have you seen the way they build shops close to each other in the market? How electric wires are all over hanging here and there, or how their generators are on close to their shops. Some even put fuel while the journey is on. Why wouldn't there be fire? Which kind mumu juju? This is the limits I have heard attributing juju to such. Building collapse is also juju, Abi, to make the person rich. I beg. All right, thank you so much. It go shock you, walai. It go shock you. Legacy phone lines are still open. 0700 903 903 903 and then 0817 175 6338. So now there are other places too where this has been, where this has happened, where they said that, oh, there's a certain guy in so place, he's into so thing. Whenever his shop, is on fire, or whenever his shop is destroyed by fire, he opens even 10 more branches. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello, good evening.
Yes,
yeah,
please.
Good evening.
Yes, please.
Yeah, this is Bishop. If you calling from Oshodi.
Bishop, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, what they are saying is truth. When
when fire outbreak happen in the market, there are some demons called Bogamago.
He called what? Called what? Called the name of the demon again. Sorry, I didn't hear it.
It's called Bogamago. Always on the air.
This demon, is he a universal demon, or is only the demon from one part of Nigeria? Hello? I said this demon you mentioned now, is it a universal demon, or is just a demon in only one part of Nigeria?
There are many demons in charge in many departments in the country. There are some in the market, in the business area. There are some of them that are operating.
Okay.
There are some in the water.
Okay.
Some are in the land.
Okay.
So this one that I made mention operates in the market. We always cause fire outbreaks in order to make their members that are in that market to make more money. Whenever they cause that fire, their members make more money in return. It's only people that have the spiritual eyes that can see it. Even when the fire is happening, they will always on the air supervising the fire, make sure that no one quit the fire, make sure that the fire circulated all over the market. It's possible. No matter how fire these people come, they may not, as in, they are this thing, they will not stop that fire until the fire will reach to their own stage. So that is why anywhere you see fire, that like if there are one fire that happened in area market and Obesema market, they were there supervising, but we were praying. We saw everything that was happening there. Hello?
So the powers, I mean the witches were there in the market overseeing that, supervising the fire in that market that day. Were they visible to people? Were they visible to people? Did people notice them?
No, it's not visible.
So how did you know that they were there?
That is why a proverb told you that spiritual control physical.
All right. Thank you.
You can only see them when you have that spiritual eye. Let me ask you one question. Can you believe that someone's spirit can be taken away from another person with a spirit, as in with spiritual magic? Could you believe?
They will not use spiritual magic now to take away your spirit. That's what you're saying. That happens?
That is what I'm just asking you, because it happens all over. It's happened in many places in Lagos.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay, thank you so much. Prince Chinaka, you're a prince, so you're a prince. You did not know this particular demon
that is creating havoc, causing. You know, the demon should be ashamed of itself.
Why? No. This is not a joke.
No, I'm not joking, but you see,
this is not a joke.
Why would the demon be inflicting more hardship on the people that are already suffering hardship?
Why do people get more rich when such fire incidents happen? Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. Pastor Color from Ijebu.
You're welcome. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I believe such mystic powers in some cases they are ways. But there are places you notice there are some occultic powers that when they build houses, when they get to a particular spot about finishing, they destroy it and start all over again. They start building. So it's also applicable to this particular issue of fire burning in the marketplaces. Someone will be building the house, 2 or 3 story building. When you get to the point of painting,
the house will collapse. Hello? Hey! Brother, I need to hear that gist complete. Okay. Kena Ezekiel says, if the shore has insurance, then you can get compensated. Fire supervisors, it's a fire supervisors now. Only in Nigeria, spirits get work, but Nigerians no feet get work.
Exactly.
Why like this now?
But it's the truth.
Adverse Adam says, we don't have maintenance culture in Nigeria. That's why. Okay, so let me go back to those calls. Hello, good evening. Hello. All right, you're wasting my time. I don't have the time. A lot of people watch too much movie. Precious, do you know the reason why it was mentioned don't store gas in certain temperature. Precious, currently, what's Lagos temperature? It's hot enough to catch fire. There are static, I say there are static from cell phone discharge, which can ignite fire. We just need to be careful and be educated. Faulkner said so. And Bokunola from Mafoluku says there is another part of fire incidents in the market. The local government officials also have a hand in it. For instance, in Ajeromi Ifelodu, beside my dad's house was a local government store. Two factions were fighting over the stalls within the week. The stalls got burnt. Just like that. Wow. See, as person uncle, they give you bobo drink juice. Why did you like this now? Bobo drink, Precious. If it's possible, I go use something naki. Stop it, Joe. Stop it. If you can come out today and ask, is it true that people eat wood so that they give birth to a baby boy? Some people call and say it's true. Is it true that people do that? So, Prince, let's have your final thoughts so that we run out.
Well, my final thought is we need patriotic leaders in this country. We need men and women of honor and proven integrity. We need to understand what patriotism is all about. And we need to understand that those who have been given responsibility of leadership should be exemplary, and they should allow patriotism to flow in their blood. When the leaders are patriotic, the followers will do the same. If you have been elected, if you are out there as a governor, a minister, whatever position you're occupying, let it be what the people want, not what you want for the people.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Lagos, that's the size of our package. I appreciate everyone. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. My name is Precious Enye, and you can catch me across the social media handles. On Instagram is at Precious Enye Official, Twitter Precious_Enye. Oh gosh, I'm such a clumsy social media user. I will try to change. And then on YouTube is Precious Enye TV. I'll see you again tomorrow, God willing. Do have an amazing evening. Good night.
Now you know, if you know, you know. Good day, everyone. My name is Victor Osunwoke. I am the marketing